Good evening, folks, and welcome to Gamer Network's Overwatch Battle Showdown livestream. Tonight we're going to be playing 3 stream sessions of Blizzard's upcoming Team Battler with members of the community from Eurogamer, VG247, Rock Paper Shotgun, ModDB, and Push Square. Our first stream is starting any minute now, and our crack team of champions are going to be taking on the Xbox One version of the game first of all, alongside our in-house expert. We're going to dive straight in and we're going to select our first characters for the game. The important thing to know is that selections aren't permanent and you can play as many characters as you like in each game.
Traveling
the first map up is Dorado, and that's set in Mexico.
I will protect the innocent.
Peace be upon you. Must be mistaken.
Good evening, guys, welcome back, and welcome to Gamer Network's Overwatch Battle Showdown stream. So we're going to go right ahead and start it right now, but tonight we're going to be playing 3 stream sessions of Blizzard's upcoming Team Battler Overwatch. Members of our community, that includes
Reinhardt,
members of the community from
you
Eurogamer,
know, I had a poster of you on my wall when I was younger.
I remember the poster! I hear
As you see, this is our first stream, and we are tackling the Xbox One version of the game. Our community members here, and also our in-house expert, who you can see from first. We'll dive straight in, and first up,
4,
we have
3, 2, 1. Attack commencing. Escort the payload. Detected.
So our first character you can see on the screen here is Farah. She is a defense character, and ultimate is a jump jet, which is flying
Turret detected.
Enemy turret ahead.
Back into the fray.
So we've seen that some of you guys are having a bit of trouble hearing me. We've adjusted the mix, so you should now be able to hear me, which is great for you guys. So as I said before, we are now watching our expert play
enemy turret ahead!
jump jet, which tells her that the sky is well above every other character.
Armor over!
It's very useful to get behind and in front of can't get.
Back in my day, we have this payload delivered.
Back in action.
So the map that you're seeing right now is Dorado, and that's set in Mexico. There are quite a few maps in the game, and they're all themed around existing locations around the world. So we're now seeing Farah use her jump jet abilities to get above all other characters in the game, which is very powerful. Farah's an ultimate, which you should see soon. Barrage, which directs a continuous salvo of rockets and
I've got you in my sights.
Back into the fray.
If you're just joining us, welcome to Gamer Network's Overwatch Battle Showdown live stream. You are seeing our team, a crack team assembled of our community members and our in-house expert, taking on the other half of the team, essentially. You are watching the match from the perspective of our expert, who is currently playing as Farah. Farah is an offensive character, and she has a rocket launcher as her primary attack, and she also has a jump jet move which will propel her into the sky, putting her well above every other character in the game. She's just going one-on-one against against Roadhog here, who has successfully managed to catch him with his grappling gun and shotgun her in the face, unfortunately. So we're now moving on to Reaper, who is another offensive character. His primary attack is his Hellfire shotguns. So his primary attack is his Hellfire shotguns. He also has a Wraith form attack, which makes him invulnerable and faster, but also takes away his ability to shoot. So it's a toss-up as to which you want to do. As you can see, he can also teleport using his Shadow Step ability, which can put him in front or behind of enemies for a real tactical advantage. His shotguns can do some serious damage. As you can see, he's now in Wraith form, which means he's invincible. And Roadhog trying to grab him there, failing, but being taken out successfully by another Reaper. So he's activated his Wraith form again, which speeds him up and makes him invincible, but takes away his ability to shoot. He's also very scary. This is his Shadow Step move being utilised here, which will put him anywhere he likes on the map as long as he can see it. A great tactic with Reaper is to get behind the enemy when they're not noticing you and take them out with the shotguns. Oh, look at that. Fantastic. So our expert has now become McCree, who is another offensive character who utilises his Magnum pistol. He can either choose to fire off one round or all of them in one go. The single round is a lot more accurate and allows for some pinpoint accuracy, and as you can see there, his fan move fires all the shots in the round at once. Far less accurate, but can really tear apart an enemy. McCree also has a combat roll which speeds him up for a brief period and reloads his gun at the same time, which is really useful. It keeps the flow of the game very, very smooth. McCree's ultimate move is called Deadeye. You might see it here if the bar charges up enough. Oh, and it probably will. Unfortunately, our in-house expert probably isn't as much of an expert as he would like. His team has lost this round. Hopefully, they'll do a little bit better next time. Play of the game was from Mushroom118i, who managed to take out a number of enemies using his turret, I believe. Our in-house expert has told me that he was quite upset that he got play of the game during the period of time he was dead. I think he's probably a little bit salty about that one. So we're moving on to our next round, still on the Xbox One, of course. And we'll be moving to King's Row, a map which is set in kind of a futuristic London. So King's Row obviously is the recent setting of the Widowmaker short. If you saw that, a really nice animated short explaining a little bit of the origins behind Widowmaker. That was set in the King's Row location. You're about to see a defend game mode, and the team we're watching here with our expert will be attempting to defend a payload, which the other team will be trying to move to a location at the end of the map. So the blue line you can see at the bottom is the kind of the route, the quickest route to the payload. So this is where our team will be trying to get to really quick. You're now seeing our expert playing as May, by the way, who is a support character. She can put some ice blocks up, which can really help in defense. Cryo Freeze can make her invulnerable and also heal her. It puts her in a block of ice for a little while. And our Ice Wall can create a wall of ice, which can actually kind of present a real issue for the other team to get around, as you can see. Okay, so you can see the point at which our team here are trying to defend against the opponents. The guys in red are going to be trying to take that particular objective by standing in the middle until the bar fills up. Hopefully they won't manage that. So you can see May has frozen herself into a block of ice to try and become invulnerable, avoid the enemy's attacks there. Successfully as well, which is good. She just popped up a wall that should protect them for a short while from the enemy.
No one can hide from my sight.
So someone's asked what my preferred character is. I really like Farah. I'm a really big fan of her ability to get above everyone else in the map and fire some rockets down on her. Her rocket launcher is probably one of the most powerful weapons in the game, so long as you can get a direct hit, which is a little bit more difficult than a number of other characters. But I really enjoy playing with her at the moment. You see a big gunfight occurring over here. So right now what you're watching is our guys playing in the open beta, which is will be available very soon, I think tomorrow. During the open beta you'll have access to Overwatch's full roster of heroes, maps and launch day features, so everything that is in the game when it launches will be available in the beta starting tomorrow. Anyone of course can join that. Some of the features include custom games, which we're actually playing in right now, loot boxes, which can give you cool things like skins, voice clips, new poses, sprays, which are little icons you can spray on the wall to tell people you've been there, and also the weekly brawl will be available. Now as you can see, our expert has just changed over to Junkrat, who is a pretty unique character. He can lay down traps which will ensnare opponents, but also as you can see here he has a gun which shoots kind of like bombs, and those can explode on a time delay, or if they hit a character they'll explode directly. Now he actually has this attack is very powerful as well, and it's pretty close to Farah in terms of damage done. Now as I say, the bombs will explode on contact with the enemy, or if they don't hit anyone they'll go off after a brief period of time, causing some splash damage. Now Junkrat can put down traps and bombs like that one, which remote detonate. He now has an ultimate, which is really cool actually. He'll create this remote control tire, which you can control independently and send into a wave of enemies and kind of set off whenever you like. As you can see, very successful for our expert, and he actually lost his mind a little bit there when it detonated. So he's actually just been resurrected by Mercy. She's a support character in the game, and she can heal and actually resurrect characters who are felled in battle, which is a really useful character to have in your team. Now our expert's just been killed by Zenyatta, who is a really quite unique character. He can deal both boons and nerfs to a character, as well as cause some serious damage. So he can apply specific plus points to his fellow teammates, or negative points to his enemies. We'll go into him in a bit more detail soon. So you're now seeing our expert play Torbjörn, who is a Viking-looking character. He's got a robotic arm which he can use to construct turrets, which you'll see is happening now. He also has a hammer which he can use to upgrade and apply health to his turrets, power them up, or repair them. As you can see, it's now been upgraded to level 2. These turrets will auto fire when they see an enemy in their line of sight. Torbjörn's role is officially classed as a defense role. His main gun is a rivet gun there.
30 seconds remaining.
Torbjorn's ultimate has now been unlocked, and I'm sure you'll probably see that in any minute now. That's called Molten Core. He overheats his personal forge and gains a significant amount of armor and scrap, which he can use to attack and build turrets faster than normal. He's supercharged his turret now, and hopefully that will do really well for him. Success! Well, after the horrible failure of the last round, I think we've redeemed ourselves here.
Play of the game.
And our expert has got the play of the game here for what is actually a very cool play. This is Junkrat's spin wheel attack there.
Epic.
It's nice to be appreciated.
So you might have seen just there that the guys in the team were voting for their favourite, or the character who they feel contributed best to the game. It doesn't mean anything, but it's a nice little gesture. If you think someone performed especially well during a game, you might want to reward them for it by telling them they were good.
Prepare to attack.
Our expert was very upset that he didn't make it to the voting panel. He'd like everyone to know that. So we're going to see Winston next, and he is on the other end of the defense now. He's actually attacking the spot. We'll see this in play. Winston has a Tesla cannon, which it's like an electric weapon which saps an enemy's health. One of his really cool defensive moves is a force field he can put around himself and teammates, as you can see here. Very cool.
I can't wait to see you all in action.
You can also jump great distances, and as you can see here.
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
Be sure to stretch before engaging.
So our team are being held for a moment while the other team sorts their defences out, gets ready to protect their area. As you can see, there are a couple of enemies taunting our guys here, but they've now gone off to solidify their defences.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Winston is a guy you might recognise. He is the focus of a short in Overwatch, and actually the launch trailer, which came out, I believe, today. In the game's fiction, he's the head of the Overwatch division, and he's a very smart ape.
Sniper, keep your eyes peeled.
He's actually a gorilla.
I'm claiming this objective. I'm on the objective. Rally to my position.
As you can see, Winston has a great deal of health, which makes him a very good tanking.
I'm claiming this objective. I'm on fire. It's only physics.
Objective is captured. Escort the payload.
He just got tied up there with Roadhog, but managed to make it clear.
Barrier activated.
I've got you in my sights.
So that was another disappointing end for our
Enemy destroyed.
in-house expert in inverted commas. Hopefully better luck next
This
time.
will protect us.
And you've just witnessed one of Winston's really great jumping abilities. He can get really far across the map, which allows him some real tactical advantages. You're about to see his ultimate here, which is Primal Rage. This makes him very strong, boosts his health, and makes him very difficult to kill. He can use his jump more frequently, he can attack more frequently, and when he's raging, he can only use melee attacks, but they are very, very strong. Now we're back in Winston's regular mode now, and you can see he's now gained the use of his Tesla cannon again.
I'm moving the payload. Follow me.
Now you may see that the focus of our team here is to escort the payload, which is that vehicle there. And what they want to do is be close to that and keep the enemy as far away from it as they can, so they can make it to the other end of the map with the payload. Now we're now seeing Reinhardt, which is another tank. He has a great big hammer, absolutely massive, as you can see, rocket powered, of course. But one of his defining features is he can put up this shield, which will allow team members to stand behind it, and it'll absorb the damage. Team members can also shoot from behind it, and they'll go right through the shield, which is great. And as you can see, he just charged off the map with his special there. Very good.
The
Payload is approaching its destination.
Enemy turret destroyed.
So someone in the comments has asked how quickly ultimates can charge, and it is kind of based on damage done, and but it also does have a timer on it. So if you're not dealing a lot of damage, it'll still charge up during the game. A tank character like our guy here will perhaps do a little bit less damage than a lot of other characters during the game, but you do have the timer, which keeps things fair. And our guys have managed to make it to the end with the payload, which is great, winning them the game.
Play of the game.
So Rob Hand has just asked how many skins and emotes are there in the game. I actually can't tell you the exact figure, but there are loads, and Blizzard add them constantly. So you can expect however many there are, and there are a lot at the moment, to just continue to grow. And of course, new skins and emotes are gained through loot boxes, which are received during the game. And we have a comment asking whether you can change heroes unlimited times in the game. That is correct. You can change as many times as you like during the game, allowing you to try out as many heroes as you like and find one that really fits you. As I said earlier, my favourite is Farah. A really big fan of the rocket launcher and the boosts. Obviously, if you change heroes mid-game, you will lose the ultimate charge, but it will continue growing after that point.
One shot.
So we're now seeing our expert pick Widowmaker, who is she's a sniper in the game. She has a number of attacks.
I'm ready to kill.
So Widowmaker's primary is her sniper, which is called Widow's Kiss. She can get a really long-range sniper attack there by holding the right trigger, left trigger, and she also has an automatic mode there, as you can see, which does a lot of damage, not as much as the sniper, which is more accurate and really good for one-shot kills. She also has a grappling hook, which you're seeing there, and a venom mine, which is like a motion-activated mine. As you can see, our guys have just been preparing their defences. The attackers are now coming in, led by Reinhardt there with his shield. That was a lovely one-shot kill there from our Widowmaker. Lovely, yeah. That's Widow's Kiss sniper getting rid of a Soldier 76 on the field there.
Did that sting?
Oh, I think we're in a bit of a tricky spot here. Oh, yep. Taken down by Reaper there. A lot of flustering I can see there. A hasty attempt at a grapple
Let's try that again.
gone awry.
We have to stop them.
So you're now seeing the Hollywood map, which is kind of like a studio backlot. So Windmaker's just activated her infrasight ultimate there. That allows her to see the heat signatures of every enemy in the game, which can obviously enable her to spot everyone quicker and potentially take them out. Unfortunately not in this case.
Locked and loaded.
So once again our guys are back on defense. As you can see, objective A there in the distance. That's what they want to stop any enemies getting to and ultimately taking control of. That was a failed grapple attack there. That would have taken out onto the rooftop where she could snipe from. Unfortunately, we're now on the balcony instead. Lovely. That was Hanzo there going down. The fully auto mode is really useful for kind of close combat, whereas the sniper is great for hiding on a rooftop and taking people while you're out of sight. A really good technique for Widowmaker is to just kind of find a spot where no one's going to find you for a little while and snipe from there. Unfortunately, we were spotted. Well, that's embarrassing.
Let's try that again.
So as you can see there, you've got a emote wheel, which allows you to select different emotes that you can you can give to your opponents or your teammates. They're mainly cosmetic, but they're you can collect more through loot chests. So she's just activated her infrasight again, which allows her to see heat signatures of everyone on the map, or every opponent on the map, which is actually very useful for spotting people who you might not have seen. As you can see, some of the environment is destructible there, which allows you to shoot away parts of the level for a better view of the action. So as you can see, there's an out-and-out brawl over there, but Widowmaker is not really the kind of character who you want to take into a brawl. You want to stand just outside of it and kind of snipe people at your own pace. That was pretty lovely. So, yep, Widowmaker trying something there which didn't really come off. Again, close quarters combat isn't the best for Widowmaker. Ultimately, she was taken out by a Reaper ultimate, which is a very strong ultimate. So, Royal Panda's asked if there's going to be new maps and characters post-release. I believe that the plan is to keep growing the roster of people, of characters and maps throughout the life cycle, and it will be quite a steady increase. It's worth pointing out as well that all updates, including maps and characters, are going to be free. There's never going to be any charge for new content for the game, which is very, very cool. It means that once you've bought the game, you've got all updates. You never need to pay for any DLC or anything like that. So our expert has switched over to Bastion, who is a really cool and pretty unique character in the game. He has his primary weapon here, which as you can see, and that's his recon configuration. At the press of a button, though, he can turn into sentry configuration, which makes him become a turret. He can't move forward or backwards while he's in this mode, but he does have 360 vision, and his attack can absolutely mow enemies down. It's very, very strong. It's actually very useful for breaking through a Reinhardt shield, for example. And one of the tips with Bastion is, because he can't move, you want to kind of put him in his sentry configuration at a place where the enemy might not spot him, for example, and mow people down as they come in. Bastion can also repair himself at the press of a button, which is really useful. You just see it there. His ultimate turns him into a tank, which is essentially his sentry mode, but he can move in that mode and also fire rockets. Very, very powerful rockets. As you can see, his ultimate bar is filling up now, so we might actually get to see that in action. He's mown down a Zenyatta. Right, here we go. Now we see him in tank configuration, which is an extremely powerful mode. As you can see, massive rockets, and he can move around in this mode. It's only for a very short time though, so you need to get your shot in quickly.
I've got you in my sight.
I will protect
10 seconds remaining.
Pull it together, team.
So there's only 10 seconds left, and it looks like our team might have won. The opponent team didn't manage to get the payload to the end of the map, which means they didn't win, unfortunately for them. Now someone's asked if the game is free. The game is not free. It's a paid-for game, but all updates to the game will be free in the future. So it's not a free-to-play game. But all updates, all DLC, maps, characters in the future are completely free. Which I actually think is a much better way of doing things personally. Victory again. We had a few contentions there, but ultimately our guys made it through.
Play of the game.
Now, play of the game is it happens at the end of every match, and it shows what the game believes is the best play from a single person at the end of each match. As you can see, 3 kills in one. Pretty good. I reckon that definitely qualifies as a play of the game.
Epic.
Now I mentioned earlier that you can vote for your favourite member at the end of each match, and this has no real bearing on the game, but it's nice to reward the players who you think did the best. Okay, so that actually concludes our Xbox live stream. We will be showing you the PS4 version of the game in about 10 minutes. So please join us for that one. And it was great to have you. We'll see you in a minute.